Sometimes the thing that is stressing you out is not the big problem in your life. Sometimes it is the 100 small things you never gave yourself time to process. Like, let's say you're late for a meeting, you have 10 unanswered messages or emails, something at work is pending, or some task which you thought you will do today, you have still not done it. There is an argument at home, or maybe you have a deadline to chase tomorrow. And somewhere between all of this, somebody asks you, why are you so stressed? It's not even such a big problem. But that's the thing about stress. I have realized that stress doesn't always come from one big event in your life. Sometimes it is an accumulation of a very small daily things happening in your life. And today I want to tell you about something that has personally helped me to deal with stressors in my life. Now, it may sound a little strange once you listen to it, but to deal with the stress in my life, I do cleaning. Yes, I clean things around me. And before I tell you why, let me tell you how I reached here. Hello, everyone. I'm Captain Ritu Kumar Singh. I'm a former Indian Army officer. I'm a lawyer and I'm a communication coach. And if you have been following me for some time, you probably know that I talk a lot about mental strength, emotional control, and building a stronger version of yourself so that you can live and speak with power. And today I want to talk about something that all of us experience, that is stress. Look at the irony. I'm smiling and saying stress, but I'm not always smiling when I'm stressed. And I have faced a lot of stress in my life. And I'm not saying that as a badge of honor. There is nothing to be proud of it. But I think because I have realized that learning how to handle stress in your life is actually a skill. So, when I was growing up, I was a young girl entering my teenage years. And like any other teenager, there were already so many changes happening. Like, literally, your body is changing, your emotions are fluctuating, changing, you're still figuring out the world. Your understanding of the world is absolutely changing. And when you're growing up in a conservative environment like I was, there is another layer to it. Suddenly, you start understanding that the world actually doesn't always look at a girl and a boy in the same way, at least not for me. So, I used to hear these sentences like, don't do this, don't do that. Girls don't behave like this. That's not safe for girls. You are a girl, you cannot do that. At the end of the day, you have to go to your sasural, so start cooking. You shouldn't go there. And then there is this constant awareness that being a girl, the world is actually unsafe for you. So even before I understood what stress is, society or my family actually taught me how to be cautious. And then came the stage where I had to fight for the career I wanted. Like there were relatives around me who thought that the obvious thing to do was to get me married as soon as possible. So there was a lot of pressure on my parents to get me married. There were so many opinions, there were so many expectations, and I literally had to fight on my own through all of that because I knew I wanted something else. Like there was this drive inside me that I wanted a career, I wanted financial independence, and I wanted to build my life on my own. And when you constantly have to prove yourself that your choices are valid, it actually takes a mental toll on you, a lot of it. And then I joined Indian Army, and suddenly there was completely different kind of a stress, like physical training, which is very brutal, very tough. Then on the top of it, the mental training, the mental hardships. There is discipline. There are examinations you have to study. There is a performance pressure on you. Then there is a little bit of competition as well while you're appearing for competitive exams. And somewhere in my head, there was always this thought that I have to make it. I have to make it anyhow. Because for me, becoming financially independent was not just about earning money, it was kind of freedom which I will get. Like if I failed, I felt like I would be back at square one, like back to the same conservative environment, back to the same expectations. Probably I would be married at an early age, back to the possibility of living the kind of life that society had already decided for me and which was not my choice. So I pushed myself. I completed my training, and there was a lot of studies as well. And before that, also, I was preparing for competitive exams. So the pressure of will I clear my exams? What if I don't clear my exams? What will happen to my future? Am I good enough or not? And then there was these personal decisions also in my life. Like I had to literally convince my parents to get me married to my husband because they were against the choice marriage. Then after I left army, I had to build my businesses. I started taking risk. I started all over again. I made mistakes, then I tried again. And constantly, when you have to figure out so many things, because now I'm a mom of two kids as well, so I have to take care of my home and my kids also. So there is a lot to it. And frankly, my life has not always been perfectly sorted, just like maybe yours is not. So, also, COVID came, and during COVID, something happened to me that made me look at stress very, very differently. So, I went through a period of intense anxiety and experienced depersonalization. Like, for anyone who doesn't know what is depersonalization, it means that there is a feeling that you feel disconnected from yourself. You know that you are you, but you don't feel completely connected to your own experiences or your own life. I had a experience of a short-term memory loss as well, and I felt things to be strange, unreal, or distant. Like that experience was truly frightening for me. And that phase of my life forced me to actually choose myself and look within. And then I realized that I had actually spent years being strong or showing myself to be strong. But that doesn't mean that you never get stressed. Like, I was an army officer in uniform and I was supposed to be strong. But I didn't realize that I was accumulating a lot of stress without doing anything about it, because all of these small stressors were actually adding on every single day. Like, we often think that stress means something huge, like a divorce, a financial crisis, probably you being chucked out from a job, a major failure in your life. But what about getting late for a meeting? Like simple things. What about difficult conversations? What about unfinished projects? What about having a difficult family member in your life? Having 10 emails you haven't answered? Not being able to be perfect in the eyes of your parents or your boss? Or maybe someone saying something hurtful to you, someone breaking your heart, or a decision you don't want to make and you have to still make it. Now, these things may look insignificant individually, but I think that our everyday experiences can actually influence our stress response. There is literal research which says that association between daily stressor and changes the major stress hormone cortisol. It talks about that, and you will often hear people also say things like that your body stores trauma. Like there are books which I have read, like the book called "The Body Keeps the Score." I'll link it. You can read it. This talks about that our actually body is storing all of those traumas which we have not addressed. Now, it has an interesting perspective about it. But I also think that we should be careful about turning a complicated scientific subject into simple slogans. Like, we should not be talking about it like that, because our body is not just a storage cupboard where every bad day gets placed on a shelf, but actually, prolonged stress can absolutely affect your mind and body. And when you repeatedly experience stress without enough recovery, you may eventually notice that you're exhausted, you're irritable, you're anxious, you're overwhelmed, or you're unable to switch off your mind. Taking too much information also can lead to that. So, how do we deal with stress without overwhelming ourselves? So, meditation is one thing which absolutely helps. Of course, there are other things also we already know, like breath work, box breathing, exercising, because regular exercising releases feel good hormones like endorphins, sleep, enough sleep, like a sound sleep, walking out in the nature, spending time in nature, seeing water bodies, like talking to someone you trust, hugging, taking regular breaks and taking rest, learning to say no. And if your stress or anxiety is persistent, overwhelming, or affecting your ability to function, please don't treat a YouTube video as a substitute for professional help. Please don't do that. Sometimes you need professional support. And asking for help in such circumstances is not weakness. But today, I actually want to talk about something very simple that has personally helped me, something I do when my mind is overloaded. So, like I said, I clean. I clean a lot. Like, I need things to be completely organized whenever I feel stressed. So now I know some of you might be thinking, ma'am, this is your stress management technique. Like, what are you telling us? Clean? Yes, because I have always been a kind of this person in this particular area. Because when I was growing up, I wasn't particularly interested in cooking. My mother forced me to do a lot of cooking, but I was more interested in cleaning the utensils. I would literally clean all the utensils in my house. Give me dust and I will remove the dust. Give me a dirty floor, I used to pick up my mop and I'll mop it. And the one thing that most people absolutely hate, and I love that, do you know what? Cleaning the bathroom. Yes, I actually enjoy cleaning those tiles, the commode, everything, even today. Like when I'm stressed or worried about something, sometimes I will dim the lights, I will put on the soft music, and I will start cleaning. I will start arranging my drawers, I will start rearranging the furniture. And in all of this, something happens. And I researched about it, like how does cleaning is helping me? There is a reason why cleaning makes me feel good. I'll also attach all the research work which I have done in the description. You can go through that. So there is a psychological mechanism behind it. First, cleaning gives you a very clear task with a visible outcome. Like imagine your mind is full of 20 problems. Now you cannot solve all 20 problems immediately, right? But you can clean one table. You can organize one drawer. You can wash one sink. You can clear at least one shelf. And suddenly there is a simple equation. There is a mess, you clean it with your action, and then there is a visible result. Your brain gets immediate feedback that you did something and something changed. Second thing, cleaning gives you a sense of control. So when you're stressed, often the most frustrating part is that you don't control the outcome. That's why you're stressed, right? You don't get to control the results of what you did. So you don't know whether you will get the job. You don't know whether somebody will understand you. You don't know what somebody else will think about you or will decide for you. You don't know whether your business idea will work or whether your business will have profits. You don't know what tomorrow will bring to you, right? There is an uncertainty all around which is exhausting. So when you're cleaning, you're focused on cleaning something, you're actually controlling the outcome. Like the table is dirty, but I can clean it. The cupboard is disorganized, so I can organize it. The floor has dust, so I can remove it. So you're taking an environment that feels chaotic, and then in that chaotic environment, you're creating order. And interestingly, research on home environments has found association between perception of clutter and psychological stress patterns. So, your environment may not be the entire cause of your stress, but your surroundings can influence how you experience stress. Number three, cleaning changes your environment. Like, this is something I find very fascinating. Like, sometimes when your mind is stuck in the same loop, then you change something physically around you. So, move the chair, change the position of your desk, and then probably clean the table, rearrange everything, open the curtains, and let some sunlight come in, and change probably the bed sheet. The color changing of the bed sheet is also going to help. Reorganize something in your kitchen or on your bookshelf. You're giving your brain a different sensory environment by cleaning. And no, I'm not going to tell you that you have to move your sofa and you start magically moving your sofa and something happens to your brain and you suddenly feel relieve your stress. That's what I'm saying. That's not how neuroscience works. But our brain actually continuously receive information from our surroundings. So when you change your surroundings, or even let's say you change your house, you are changing some of the sensory input your brain is processing. Like once you shift from a dirty old house to a new clean house, that physical shift will also psychologically shift something inside you. And then there is something called as rhythm. I love cleaning. You know why? Because of the repetitive nature of it. You're wiping, you're sweeping, you're folding the clothes, you're probably washing the clothes, you're organizing things, you're decluttering, you're throwing away things which are of no use. And it can actually become meditative. Like cleaning is meditative for me. You don't have to solve your entire life while doing it. You just focused on one thing, cleaning one thing at a time. So you're simply present with the next action. And experimental research has found that actual cleaning can reduce some psychological and physiological effects of stressful situations. I'm not saying don't meditate or just clean your bathroom. No, no, that's not what I'm saying. Meditate, but if your bathroom is dirty, you might as well clean it. If your room is dirty, please clean it. I'm saying that small physical actions can sometimes help interrupt the mental spiral. This is something I sometimes do. I don't try to solve my entire life. I don't sit there thinking, how am I going to fix everything in my life? I choose just one small physical task. Like last night, I actually cleaned my cupboard. I cleaned, rearranged my whole wardrobe, and I felt so good. So you can also start with one thing. So I usually put on some music, I dim the lights, I reduce the stimulation around me, and then I just clean. And while I'm doing it, I allow my mind to settle. Sometimes the problem has not disappeared, but it actually changes the state of my mind. And that is important because sometimes you don't need to solve the problem immediately. All you need to do is you first need to get yourself into a state from which you can actually think clearly about the problem. And also with cleaning, your environment will be cleaner. So once your brain sees that clean environment, it will also get some air to think more about other things. So there are other few things which you can do, like move your body, go for a walk, because if you stay stuck at one place, your energy will be stuck there. But when you stretch, when you exercise, that physical movement will take you out from a stuck energy state. Also, breathe slowly. Take a few slow, deep, deliberate breathings. Like you can do box breathing, 4 breathing in count and 6 breathe out count. Third, reduce the input. Please put your phone away if you're stressed. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Don't read a book. Don't consume any content. Stop consuming more information in your already overwhelmed brain, because sometimes the solution to overstimulation is no stimulation. Next, as I said, clean one small area, not your entire house, just one drawer, one table. Don't create another to do list and adding more stress to your life by choosing to clean the whole house. Just create one small order in your life and then probably write it down, because if your mind is running in 20 different directions, put those thoughts into a paper. What is the problem? What can I control presently? What can I not control right now? What needs action today? What can wait? Because sometimes stress becomes bigger simply because everything is floating around us inside our head. So dump it down into a diary, which I call my second brain, and just sleep. And one more thing, please do not romanticize stress. I know we live in a culture where being extremely busy is sometimes treated like a status symbol. Don't flex that you sleep only for 4 hours, or I don't have any time, or I'm constantly working, I'm always hustling. The hustle culture, I absolutely hate it because it causes constant overwhelming, and constantly overwhelmed is not a winning sign in life. Your nervous system doesn't care about your LinkedIn profile, because your body just needs recovery, your mind needs recovery, and you need moments when nothing is demanded from you. So please take care of yourself. And if you have to ask me, how do you handle stress? My answer today is not that I have eliminated stress from my life forever, because life is not linear. Something or the other keeps coming. And I think nobody can actually eliminate the full stress. All you can do is manage it one step at a time. Thank you so much for watching it. If this video added any value to your life, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Captain Ritu Kumar Singh signing off. Jai Hind. Namaste.